Morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining. This is Anay from Dell Technologies, advisory consultant and CTO ambassador. And today I would be talking about importance of cyber resiliency for next decade, right? So we'll try to cover some trends around cyber resiliency, best practices, and guidance which we think should be adopted if you want to become resilient. And becoming resilient is so important in today's connected world because everything is connected. There is an accelerated digital transformation which is taking place. And while you focus on cyber security, you also have to focus on cyber resiliency in parallel. In today's session, the agenda would be focused on understanding the resiliency part of it, trends and why it is important to be resilient, key requirements which is coming from our customers, and best practices on how to design a cyber resiliency strategy. We'll keep it to guidance level, and then probably we can add more to it depending on the best practices which you follow as a customer or as a partner. During an organization's transformation, they face a possible new facet of risk in their business digital risk, right? Because our customer look to us to help them achieve more ambitious transformation initiatives as they adopt to cloud computing, machine learning, IoT. These advancements will enable them to accelerate business opportunities, create engaging customer experiences, and modernize connected infrastructures. But digital transformation comes with a digital risk, which has threats, vulnerabilities, and consequences at a scale, scope, and speed we are only just beginning to understand. So, what is digital risk? Generally speaking, it is the unwanted and often unexpected outcome that stem from digital transformation, digital business processes, and the adoption of related technologies. There are two sides to this, a positive and a negative side. The positive side of digital risk is that the organization is accelerating innovation by leveraging existing technology and adopting emerging technology to deliver immersive and engaging content, activities, and experiences. The negative side is you are opening yourselves up to the ever expanding attack surface and the unknown attack vectors and vulnerabilities that may exist in these technologies and the applications which you are developing. As organization, embrace the advantage, which is the positive risk of technology, the volatile, hyperconverged, hyperconnected nature of digital business amplifies the negative side of risk also, right? So add ever increasing cyber knowledge or make sure that you understand complex digital privacy regulations and consequential security risk which comes with it. Organizations depend more than ever on digital business operation and digital products and services, all of which offer an infinite number of corners and crevices for the risk to hide. Cyber attacks are a real threat to IT and transformation. Cyber attacks are becoming so sophisticated, and it's not a matter of if, but when you will be faced with such an attack. Potential suggestions is when you add data, right? It can be anywhere, and you are always in a connected society, in a data-driven society, which can lead to cyber attacks because we were not prepared, we were not resilient enough to recover the data in case we are compromised. Your protection for critical data, and we'll talk about it, right? I mean, data protection has become so very important, not only for legal and compliance purpose, but also developing resiliency. What if I am compromised? Will I be able to recover my data in case I'm compromised? And cyber recovery, which is recovering your business critical data in case you're compromised, is a key to security, digital, and IT transformation. Because while you look to transform your business, you should also look at how will you be able to recover the data in case you are compromised and how well you are prepared for it. So cyber recovery should be part of your business continuity planning as we progress in today's world. There's a lot of attacks which are happening, and you can search for them on internet. And these attacks on companies like Garmin or United Health Systems have costed billions in lost revenue and can leave ongoing negative effect like damaged reputation and lack of shareholder confidence. Like, it takes years to build reputation. An attack can destroy your reputation, which money can't buy, right? We all understand. There is an automobile industry which was under threat attack. There is an IT company which was compromised. And then there was a Garmin attack where we had a loss of millions of dollars. It's not about money. We only see money, which is just the tip of the iceberg. There is a lot more to it: legal formalities, forensics, loss of reputation, loss of production, business loss, and so on, which is basically there. I mean, your company's reputation, your company's productivity is at stake in case you are compromised because you can't do anything. And these attacks are now motivated by different cyber threat actors. It can be a criminal motivation or an insider attack, which is really dangerous because an insider would know the most about your organization. It can be an espionage, hacktivism, terrorism, or a warfare, which we are seeing now, right? There is a war going on, and there's a lot of cyber attacks are also happening with the warfare, right? So there are different motivations. There is also ransomware as a service, where you can just sign up for it and maybe help the hackers attack somewhere, and you get paid for it because you have given that lead for ransomware as a service. So this is getting smarter and smarter, while our cyber security is also getting smarter with zero trust and a lot of things getting added to it. But while you have best in class cyber security, you should also think how you can be cyber resilient in case you are compromised. What is your standard operating procedure? What are your runbooks? How will you be able to recover the data in case you are compromised, right? And these attacks are like happening every 11 seconds. Every 11 seconds, somewhere in the world, there is an attack happening, leading to revenue loss, which we all know. But then there's a lot of business loss, and some of the businesses are not even able to recover after a cyber attack. And obviously, banking, there's a lot of revenue being lost or at stake. And then utility, software, healthcare, any industry you talk about, they are prone to attacks. But then we have backup, we have disaster recovery. Are it secure? The answer is no. Attackers are now smart enough to target backup system even before they activate the malware in the production side of it, right? So if your backup server, which is your master server as you call it, or the server which controls your backup catalog, if that is encrypted, what will you do? If your backup target is encrypted, what will you do? Because now when the ransomware attack happens, it can easily spread with everything being encrypted already. And when you go to your backup, they are already corrupted. So you'll not be able to recover the data from your backup as well. And that's where cyber resiliency is a strategy. You need to look at it as a holistic approach. As per NIST framework, you have recover, respond, detect, protect, and identify. The way it goes is you first identify, try to protect it, detect it, respond to it, and in the end, how well you will be able to recover the data. And then you have CIA, where you have CIA triangle about confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. Based on that, we feel cyber recovery is a solution focused on protect and recovery of data in case you are compromised. And as per Dell Technologies, we believe in 3 I's, which is isolation, immutability, and intelligence. In new normal, we know SMS, right, which is sanitize, mask, and social distancing. Similarly, there is 3 I's, which is isolation, immutability, and intelligence. When we say isolation, we talked about an air gap environment where we have copy of our business critical data. And this is behind the air gap, so it is not connected to the outside world at all time. There is a bridge which happens only when the data has to be replicated for production, but then there is a lot of security considerations in place. It's a one-way traffic, single port, and we make sure that the bridge is only closed for a minimum point of time when the data is replicated. With data domains, since the data is deduplicated, we ensure that the air gap is bridged for a very, very minimum time period. Coming to immutability, how will you be able to make yourself more immune, right? I mean, immutability is important both at hardware and software level, which means you can have immutability just on the software side of it, but your hardware can be compromised. But immutability should be looked not only from software side of it, but also from the hardware side of it. There should be no chance of making changes to the data once it is written onto a system inside the vault. May whatsoever happen, unless you destroy the system itself, you remove the hard disk and burn it or whatever, right? And then intelligence. Will I be able to identify if I am compromised even before the malware is activated, right? So in the vault, you have your business critical data, which is being replicated from production. And this is not disaster recovery where everything is replicated. This is not disaster recovery where we are looking at stringent SLAs, RTO, RPO. We are looking at business continuity planning, doing CR drills. What if I am compromised and how will I have CR as part of my overall business continuity process? And intelligence would always check for the business critical data which is inside the vault. First of all, it is immutable. So even if there's something suspicious in production, it can't be activated, no connection to the outside network. Intelligence will then look at it and say that, yes, there is a chance that a server or a folder is compromised in production. Will raise an alarm if security can then look at and decide whether they have to sanitize the environment and follow the best practice. As intelligence, we as Dell Technologies look at not only the metadata, but actually looking at the file content as well, right? So when you look at metadata as well as file content, when you look at the entropy scores, your chances to be accurate is far higher in identifying if there is something which is not correct in the network already there, but still not activated, so that we can prevent a cyber attack as well. So in nutshell, I think it is very important in today's world to be resilient. While we have zero trust, best-in-class cybersecurity in place, we also have to focus and invest on being resilient and how we will be able to recover the data and say that we would not be paying ransom because we are able to run the business with the resilience strategy which we have. I look forward to your thoughts and your feedback and maybe more best practices, right, as we talk, because from you, we would also learn if there is any other best practices that should be considered. We also would like to learn if there is anything else as a guidance which we should take while we develop the resiliency strategy together. Thank you so much and have a good day.